What's going on, guys? Back at you guys with another presentation. Um, I want to talk to you guys real quick about. I'm gonna talk to you guys about guys who never had to pay for the box. Now, the one thing about dudes who never had to pay for the box, we all know that those type of guys are desirable dudes. Those are dudes that women want. So those type of dudes are in a whole different category. I'm making this presentation because this was one of the comments on one of my presentations. Um, somebody wanted me to talk about. Somebody wanted me to talk about this. Um, Men who never had to pay women to sleep with them, those are dudes who were desired from a young age. We all know this. And see, the bad part about those types of guys, they'll try to shame you and bash dudes who pay women for sex. I never understood why you have certain men who are desirable who try to bash dudes that they know ain't wanted by nobody. They try to bash these types of men for paying a woman to sleep with them. Like, don't you understand that every man is not a sex symbol? Like, don't you understand that every man is not wanted by women? Like, women don't even like certain men. Like, I never understood why you have dudes, they'll try to bash dudes, they'll try to bash dudes who pay women to sleep with them. One of the main reasons why I want to be a millionaire is so I can do just that. Ain't nothing wrong with a man paying a woman to sleep with him. I mean, every dude ain't sexy. Like Alpha Male Strategies even said, every man can't get that fire and desire. Every man can't get that real unadulterated, unfiltered connection with a woman. Every man can't get that. So, I don't think there's nothing wrong with a man paying a woman to sleep with him. As a man, it's plenty of men who do it. But see, you got dudes who've always had women desiring them. They had females liking them from a young age, so they live in a whole different reality. See, it's all about your experiences at the end of the day. See, people are not open-minded. See, you got a lot of people who not open-minded. You got some dudes, since they've been a sex symbol their whole life, and they always had women throwing vagina their way, they're not intelligent enough to understand that every man does not have that same reality. See, you got dudes who've always had women liking them and desiring them. They think in their mind that every man lives the same reality that they're living. But every man don't live that same reality. And you got some guys who just fail to understand that every dude ain't Mr. Sexy. Every dude, every dude can't get that real raw attraction. They can't get that real connection, that solid official connection. Even Alpha Male Strategy said it. These are not my words. These are the words of Alpha Male Strategy. See, we live in a society where people love shaming men. We live in a society where people love shaming men. That's why I say don't fall for the shaming tactics. And men who try to shame you for paying for the box, those dudes are just ignorant. They're not smart enough to realize that it's different strokes for different folks. See, that's why I say don't fall for the shaming tactics. Don't fall for society trying to shame you as a man. See, people believe in shaming men who are not wanted, men who are undesirable, men who are not chosen. People believe in shaming these types of men. See, men who pay for the box are undesirable men. Men who pay women to sleep with them, these are the losers. But like I stated, it's different strokes for different folks. It is what it is at the end of the day. I never felt that it was anything wrong with the guy paying for sex. I just always felt that these are things that should happen naturally, you know, just how you go to the bathroom. You know, there are certain things that are just supposed to happen naturally. This stuff is not supposed to be complicated at all. Dudes who never had to pay for the box, they're not intelligent enough to be able to humble themselves to understand that every man cannot get a raw connection with a woman. Every man can't even get a female to be attracted to them. Some men would have to pay a woman to sleep with them. They would have to. You know? That's just the only way some men are going to be able to do it. I always felt that ever since I was a teenager, I always felt that I would have to pay women to be with me. In all honesty, and I hate to say that, but I just got to be real about it. The only way I could see a woman dealing with me is if I paid her to fool with me. You know, that's the only way I could see a woman sleeping with me. And I'm pretty sure that's the way it is for a lot of guys. I mean, I feel like I'd have to be loaded with money. That's the reason why I want to be a millionaire, so I can trick off and, you know, ain't nothing wrong with being a simp either. See, a lot of men talk against being a simp. Ain't nothing wrong with simping. I mean, if I was a millionaire, that's what my life would consist of. It would consist of me tricking off and paying large amounts of money on women. That's the kind of lifestyle that I'd live. I'd be a Donald Trump type dude. And it's nothing wrong with this. See, you got some men, if they hear you talking like this, they'll want to get in your behind. But see, those type of men are not willing to humble themselves. See, one thing I had to learn in life, never talk to people who've been winners their whole life about losing. That's the best analogy that I can give, because somebody who's been a winner their whole life, they can't tell you about losing because they've been winning their whole life. See, dudes who've always been sought after, dudes who never had to pay for the box, those are the dudes who've been winning their whole life. So somebody that's been winning their entire life, they got a history of winning. They got a history of winning. They don't understand the life of a person who got a history of losing. See, if you got a history of losing, you want to surround yourself with other people who got a history of losing. See, I wouldn't even want to be around dudes who never had to pay for the box. The only type of guys that I really want to align myself with are other dudes who are losing. Because you got to be around people who are in agreement with you. You got to touch and agree with people who are in agreement with you, people who are in alignment with you. See, a person who's been wealthy their whole life, they could never sympathize with somebody who's been poor their whole life. It's two different realities. So that's the best analogy that I can give when it comes to dudes who pay for the box. You know, dudes who pay for the box live in a whole different reality from the guys who get the box for free. And men who never had to pay a woman to sleep with them, they don't understand the life of a loser, nor do they feel sorry for dudes who are losing. They don't care. See, dudes who've been winning their whole life, dudes who've always been desired and sought after by women, they don't understand dudes who are losers. They don't understand dudes who not wanted. They can't even humble themselves enough to understand. So what I had to learn in my life is, if you got a history of losing, surround yourself with other people that's losing. See, people who got a history of winning, they want to be around other people who got a history of winning. And you never want to be around people that don't have your same experiences in life, because they're not going to be able to understand, and they're not going to be able to feel sorry for you. That's why the only type of dudes that I would want to align myself with are dudes who got to pay for the box. Because dudes who never had to pay women to sleep with them, they can't understand, because it's two different realities. See, a person can't understand you as a person if they never walked a mile in your shoes. If they never lived your life, if they never experienced, you know, the things that you've experienced, they could never really understand where you're coming from. You know? That is why I never that's why I never understood why you have dudes who never had to pay women to sleep with them, why they judge men who trick off on women, you know, and why they judge men who pay women to sleep with them. I guess it's because they can't relate. And it goes back to the old saying, you know, people fear what they don't understand. People run away from what they don't understand. And that's why I had to learn in my life, and I've learned that within these 35 years I've been alive, that it's best to be around people who have your same life experiences. Because if a person don't have your same experiences in life, they could never feel sorry for you, and they could never understand where you're coming from. See, dudes who always got the box with no issue, they shame dudes who pay women to sleep with them because they don't understand. They don't understand. They don't understand. See, you got, you know, that is why I had to learn in my life that if a person don't have your same life experiences, they could never understand you. And they could never really understand where you're coming from. That's why these type of topics, you wouldn't even want to discuss this with certain dudes. And you know, guys who, and I'm glad I made this video because it was a great comment that someone left, you know, to talk about guys who never had to pay for the box. Dudes who never had to pay for the box, those are desirable men. Those are men that's wanted. You know, those are the men that's wanted. Dudes that gotta pay women to sleep with them, those are the losers. You know? And you know, that's just the way it is. Like, you know, a lot of guys, you know, they don't understand that everybody can't be a winner. See, dudes who been ladies' men their whole life, you know, guys who always had women throwing the box at them, they not intelligent enough to understand that every man can't be a sex symbol. They think that every man can be what they are. See, men who are desirable to women, they believe that every man can become what they are. Every man can't become what you are. A lot of these desirable men need to understand you in a league of your own. You one of God's chosen. See, men who are desired by women, men who always had women throwing the box at them, they need to understand they one of God's chosen. You know, we all ain't God's chosen. I want to clarify that, because a lot of dudes who are desirable to women, dudes who always had women liking them, a lot of these types of guys believe in their mind that every man can become sexy, that every man can become, you know, that man that women want to throw the box at. But every man can't become no sex symbol, you know? And this is one of the main reasons to why I would never go to a dating seminar, because I'm a firm believer, and I'm gonna go ahead and end this presentation on that note, on this beautiful Thursday evening. I'm a firm believer. I am what I am. What I'm not, I'll never be. I stand firm on that. I stand 10 toes down on that. If you've been a loser your whole life, never been a dude that females desire, you can't turn things around. It's written in stone. You can't turn it around. I am what I am. What I'm not, I will never be. I can't become what I never was. You know? And this is why guys who've always gotten the box for free will never be able to understand guys who pay women to sleep with them. They'll never be able to fathom that. They'll never be able to understand that, because their reality is different, you know? And that's why I gave you that analogy about a poor man versus a rich man. It's two different dualities, you know? It's you know, a rich man will never understand the life of a poor man, because it's two different worlds. Just like a desirable man will never understand the life of a man that ain't wanted, because it's two different dualities. It's two different worlds. You know? It's two different worlds. So this is why I say, if you got a history of losing, You only want to talk about topics like this with other guys who got a history of losing. See, if you got a history of losing when it comes to the ladies, you don't want to get around men who got a history of winning, because their reality is different. Their confidence is different. Their experiences is different. So their mind is going to be different. They're not going to be able to understand your life. And they're not going to be able to understand where you coming from. That's why I had to learn in my life, only talk to people that have your same demons. Don't talk to people who have a different reality from the reality that you live in, because it leads to a conflict of interest. Because when you talk to somebody who don't have the same experiences that you have, they're not going to be able to feel you, and they're not going to be able to pity or feel sorry for you. That's why if you got a history of losing, you want to surround yourself with people that's losing. You got a history of winning, you surround yourself with people who got a history of winning. That way the feeling is mutual. This is why dudes who never had to pay for the box will never dudes who never had to pay for the box, let me rephrase my terms, dudes who never had to pay for the box will never understand guys who gotta pay for it. They'll never understand. And the sad part about it, they'll never try to understand. But on that note, I'm gonna go ahead and end this presentation on this beautiful Thursday evening. You guys have a good evening, and I'm gonna talk to you guys very, very soon. Peace out.